Good morning, I'm Dave.
And I'm Wally. So we're here again, another section of our video, our little roof project that we got going. We're going to talk about our insulation layout and our tapered package. Right now we have some 3-inch fill. Our taper drawing dictated we have to have fill, and we're going to put our tapered on top. Now, the estimator in his ultimate wisdom, typically on any job when you're using a fill material, you're going to use 4x8. So what did the estimator send us?
4x4s.
4x4s.
Yep.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just going to make our job not really more harder. It's just a little more time consuming.
Yeah.
So again, whose fault is it? I guess we should have double checked before we started.
Yeah.
So I blame it on you.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
What we want to do when we lay these out, we have 4x4s. We have to break the stagger on our insulation. So typically what you do, you take a 4x4, we're going to cut it in half, and I'll kind of show you how this is going to lay out. So if we're going to butt this into the wall, we're going to start out with a 2x2. Okay, you understand that? Then we're going to come with a full, which is a 4x4. This is going to butt in here like this. And then our next full one, how we would lay this out, if this is my wall right here, we're going to come in with a full 4x4. So we kind of break the stagger of the insulation. You really don't want your insulation joints lining up something like this. Because that comes in with thermal bridging,
Right.
you're losing
Heat
your R
loss.
factor, heat loss, so you always want to stagger. And then when we come in with our tapered package, we're going to stagger off this also. So none of our seams or insulation are going to line up.
Cut that off. So I can sit a little bit tighter. Oh yeah, because it was a nice straight.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we've got our base layer, we're starting our base layer here, and then we're going to come in with our tapered package, but we're going to low-rise foam all that. So this base layer is going to be anchored to the deck, and when we do our tapered package, we do our low-rise foam, we're going to adhere directly to this. And then when we start installing our sheet, it's a mechanically attached system, so that's where we're going to run into issues. We're going to have to deal with changing our screw height as we work our way up when we start installing the sheet.
Yeah, you just try to get it as tight as you can. As you can to the pipe. You don't want a big gap.
Cuéntanos mayores, chamaco.
This is going to get covered up with another layer. So I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but we needed to get it in as best as we could. So it's going to go with a AA on top. So we should be good from that. Fasteners, pretty much there, and try to get one in here. Still going to get like 5-6 fasteners here.
Okay, something very important when you're doing a mechanically attached system, your screws, especially if you're doing a tear off or new construction on a metal deck, your screws should only be long enough to hit the top flute. And just to show you right here, this is 3-inch fill insulation. We've got 4-inch screws. So our screws actually, when we hit the top flute, it's going to penetrate the deck 1 inch. We tell you our spec is a minimum 3/4 of an inch. So if I hit the top flute, this screw should penetrate at least 1 inch. So I'm going to put the screw in here. See, I'm not going to hit anything. So what I got to do, our deck is running this way. So I have my top flute and I have my bottom flute. All I got to do is basically pull this screw out, move it over probably a couple inches. There's my top flute. There, I've hit my top flute. Now I've actually engaged that deck. If I would just leave that screw and go on to the next one, which I've seen time and time again, because it gets really frustrating for guys, I basically have nothing holding this roof on the deck. So this is what's going to hold my roof from ended up in the parking lot. Very important that guys, when they're doing this, make sure you hit that top flute. You don't want to overdrive. You don't want this. Just want the plate flush. That's overdriven. This is flush.